Hello everyone, Andrea here with I Dream of Crafting. Welcome back to another 12 Days of Crafting episode. Today I'm going to show you how to do these beautiful glass and nail polish gems. This is a necklace. They do better as necklaces than anything else, but you could also do magnets. They do wonderfully as magnets. But this is what I'm going to show you how to do today. These make wonderful Christmas presents. I did these a couple years ago for family members, and they went nuts for them. They thought they were gorgeous. So these make wonderful Christmas presents. They do take a few days, so you got to do them like now, but they do make wonderful presents. So this is what I'm going to show you how to do today. So let's get to the supplies. So the supplies you're going to need to do the nail polish initialized gemstones is you're going to need some glass gems. You can get these glass gems at the Dollar Tree. They come in a mesh bag, and you get about 25 to 30 gems in a bag. Some are bigger than others, some are smaller than others, some have really bad imperfections, but some are perfect. These are not perfect, but they're close enough. I have a ton of these because I used to do these gems like crazy. I would do like 30 gems at a time, but I haven't done them in a couple of years. So, but you're going to need some glass gems. You're also going to need some nail polish because it wouldn't be a nail polish gem without some nail polish. All these nail polishes are from the Dollar Tree. So you're going to need some top coat. This is super dry. It dries really, really fast, and this works perfectly well. You're going to need a lot of this. So if you're going to do if you're going to do a lot of gemstones, pick up a couple bottles. You're going to need a lot if you're going to do a lot of gems. And then just whatever colors you want. You can do glitter nail polish. You can do whatever colors you want. This specific gem will actually be a Christmas present for my brother's girlfriend. So she likes pink and black. So we're going to do that for her today. You're also going to need some blue painter's tape. You can probably use the green as well. This will be making our template, if you will. You're also going to need some clear packing tape. This is the only one I could find. I can't find any of my packing tape. I have like 4 rolls of it. You're also going to need an initial. Her name is Marissa, so we're going to do an M, of course. Now this is kind of a bad letter to show you on because it's an M. No matter how you do it, it's an M. Here's the really important thing. When you're doing a letter, like an N or an L, a B, something like that, or a C, most of the letters in the alphabet, here's the most important thing. To do these gems, you have to flip them so that they're backwards. So if the L normally goes like this, you want to flip it so that the L goes like this. So you want to make sure it's flipped so that it's facing backwards, so that when you put this on the gem, it's facing the right way. I made that mistake the first time, and yeah, was wondering why this wasn't working. You have to invert your letters, and it's hard with an M because an M looks the same forward and backwards. So just make sure that you do that. I have a template with all these letters that are inverted. It's in a Word document, but I will try and find a way to supply you with that template. If not, I will supply you with a link to the template I did, and then you just put it in a Word document and invert it 180 degrees. So you're going to need a template. You're going to need an X-Acto knife. You could probably do let me think about that before I say that. No, you really can't do this with scissors. So get an X-Acto knife. Use the sharpest blade you can and be very, very careful. Yeah, sorry, you really can't do this with scissors. So you're going to need an X-Acto knife. If you're going to turn this gem into a necklace, you're going to need some bails. I got this from Packetans. They were just a couple bucks for 8 of them. These work really well. This is the gems. These are the bails I work with all the time, and they hold really well. I have necklaces. I have these gemstones that I've made. The one I showed you in the intro, that's been sitting around here for a couple of years, and the bail is perfectly fine. And the ones I gave away as presents are perfectly fine. So these work really well. I like these. They're silver, but you can get bails in any color you want. So you're going to need some bail mounts. You're going to need some glue. Now a very, very strong glue, because this is glass. If these fall off the bails, it's not going to be a good day. So I use E6000 glue. This is a very, very strong glue. It dries clear and transparent, but it's very, very, not very, very hazardous, but you want to do this, you want to use this glue in an open environment. You don't want to do this in a locked room. So open a window or do it outside, something like that, just to get the fumes away from you. Now, when using this glue takes 3 days to cure. It's dry after 24 hours, but it cures for an additional 2 days after that. So 72 hours, this is dry and cured and not going anywhere. So this is why I use this glue. But if you're wanting to make these for Christmas, start now, because you gotta wait 3 days for this glue to dry, or cure, I should say. And that's pretty much all you need. Well, for this one, I'm going to be using these really cute heart, I guess it's glitter. You could call it glitter. It's like they're not rhinestones, but they're just plastic. Really? You're not going to come out? They're just plastic little hearts. So this is what I'm going to use for her gemstone. This is an optional thing. You don't need to do this. You can just do nail polish, which is what I did for all the rest of mine. It's just nail polish. Like I said, you can do glitter polish as well if you wanted to add some sparkle to it, but this is optional. I got this in a pack of 6 at the Dollar Tree, believe it or not. There's stars and hearts and glitter and little rhinestones. It was a good pack. So this is what, well, not what you need, but this is an optional thing you can do, and I'll show you how to inlay those. So, oh, and of course a cutting mat. You need a cutting mat. So that's all the supplies. So let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so the first thing you want to do with these gems, and the one thing you have to keep in mind through the whole process, is that you're building the gem, you're building the design from the top down. So what I mean is, the last thing that you would want to do when building a design is seal it. In this case, that's the first thing you want to do. So when you're looking at the gem, envision your design, run it through your head forwards, what you would do first, second, third, and then reverse those steps. So you would think you would put your letter on first. I'm sorry. See, I'm even doing it backwards because I've done this so many times that I can just do it without thinking. You would imagine that you would put your background first, then your letter, then your sealer, but if you put your background on first, then you can't put your letter on. So that's what I mean. You have to work backwards. So the first thing you want to do is seal the gem. And this, not only does this give a great shine to your gem, it also sometimes can fill any little imperfections on the gem, which is what I'm hoping, because this gem had a little tiny imperfection that you could see through it. So I'm hoping once that dries, you won't be able to see it, or it'll be less noticeable. Let me tip this up a little bit. Oh, if it'll let me tip it, come on. Here we go. But if that gem doesn't work out, I have this gem. So this will just smooth out the surface of the gem, make everything nice and smooth, and it will give a nice shine to your design. And already look how smooth that is. That will be a nice gem if this one does not work out. This one looks pretty good already. Now you can still see, like right there, those two things. You can still see it. If I have something like that, I'll let it dry in between and then try and like build it up like filling in a pothole. I don't know if that'll work. Maybe it will. So, yeah, so we're going to let those dry. And while those are drying, let me show you how to do this. Back it out a little bit. Okay, so for this, you want some blue tape. Okay, and try not to, the more you handle this tape, the blue painter's tape, the less sticky it will get. So try and handle it as, what is it? Try and handle it as little as possible. There it is. Wow, I need sleep. Okay. And then you're going to take some, oh, come on. There we go. We're going to take some packing tape here, seal that down on top. Now, if you've seen any of my painting tutorials, my duct tape painting tutorials, this will not be new to you. We're going to tape this down. This is our template. We're going to take our X-Acto knife and we're going to cut on the black lines around, and this will make our stencil for when we fill with the nail polish. So I usually spin the mat while I'm doing this because that's the easiest way. So give me 1 second. Let me see if I can move the camera in such a way that you can still see, but I can still do what I need to do. Give me 1 second. So it doesn't take but just a few minutes. I just got done cutting this out and I have checked these and they are actually dry. So I'm just checking these. See, you can still see that imperfection. Darn. I wanted to use that one. This one will still look pretty though. Alright. So decide which way up you want your pendant to go. Kind of like that. You can go any way you want. And then I find it easier to line it up, to line the gem up on the tape and not the other way around. And then you can see it through the light. Alright. So you just want to push down, especially, okay, sorry if you heard that, my brother's doing something. Especially these little ends here, you want to make sure they're down. You don't want anything seeping through. Alright, we just take our nail polish then and paint. Whoop, sorry, didn't mean to move it that much. Okay. And I found that the thicker you put it on, the better it is, especially with a nail polish like this that's really watery. It's pretty runny. Just kind of slop it on there. And then before it has time to dry, carefully peel it up. And that does not look too bad. So obviously you want that to dry before you go messing with it. I should let it dry, but I kind of just want to get these gems down. So do as I say, not as I do. But I'm going to carefully, very carefully put these little heart glitter pieces on this, and I'm not quite sure how many I'm going to put, but let's find out. So let's pretend this is dry, because you really should wait. You really should wait for this to dry. So I'm just going to take some top coat. Oops. Okay, there we go. Just going to take some top coat and just very carefully run it around the initial. Now at this point you should have a toothpick, and I don't have a toothpick. So let's improvise. So you want to get some water, or like me, I just licked the what do you call it? The brush here. And that'll help you pick up these little tiny things. Okay, my recording stopped for some reason. But yeah, you just keep doing this. And since it's top coat, you want to work in sections because the top coat will dry very quickly. So you want to work in sections. You want to work quickly, but you want to work in sections. Okay, so I wanted to show you that I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and even sometimes what I do, even though I've done these literally hundreds of times, well, maybe 100 times, I've made quite a few of these. Even I don't get it right. So, as you can see, let me move my hand out of the way. You can see the pink. That is from the hearts. When I tried to seal it with top coat, the pigment on the hearts started to smear and get all over the place, so I tried just dabbing on the top coat to try and just seal those and then go back over and brush them, and they just, yeah. So if you wanted to use these gems from the top coat, if you wanted to use these gems from the Dollar Tree, what I would recommend is putting them on like a sandwich bag or something and encasing them in top coat until, and before putting them on your gel or gem. That will prevent them from running all over the place like this did for me. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to forego the gems. So yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change my idea a little bit. So I went into my stash. This is also from Dollar Tree. Yeah, I get a lot of my stuff from Dollar Tree. This is a pink. There we go. This is a pink. Wow, just completely missed it. This is a pink glitter. And it looks hollow, actually, because you can see how you get that rainbow effect. So it's a pink glitter with some hollow glitter in there as well. And I fished this back out of the trash. I'm going to just reuse that because that's good. So, I wanted to see, though, how the glitter would look on top of this black. And this is what you should do, unless you're going to wing it, like I did for a lot of mine in the beginning. If I'm doing a specific one, though, for someone like this, I do some tests. And that means just getting some paper, putting down some nail polish, and seeing how well they react with each other. So we're going to let this dry, and then I'm going to put the glitter on top, and hopefully the glitter is going to be opaque enough on top of this black. It's not completely dry, but it's dry enough, because I'm impatient right now. And while it was drying, I took the paint off of this one, which is some nail polish remover, and I sealed it with the top coat, so that's got to dry a little bit, but that won't take very long. So let me see how this is gonna work. Ooh, you can see it wasn't dry, but ooh, I like that. The camera's not picking it up too well. Oh, there we go. You can see it a little bit there. Ooh, that's really pink. Ooh, I like that. Okay, that'll work. Test over. We can do that. So now I get to show you how glitter is applied. So we will let this do its thing and be right back. Okay, so I have had to redo this pendant like 4 times, and I'm not even exaggerating. I was having a heck of a time getting this letter on this pendant for some reason, but it is on there. I've already sealed it with some top coat. So now I'm going to take my glitter and I'm just going to apply glitter just around and over it. Now you won't see this on top of the letter because obviously we're doing this on the back and the letter's already on there. So this is what I mean by you have to think how you want your design to look and then figure out, you know, which way you have to do it to get it to work. Oh, and there's the glitter. Oh, look how pretty. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is pretty much dry. It's still a little sticky, but that's alright. It doesn't need to be completely dry. This is just the top coat from sealing in the glitter. And then you just take your background color. Oops, hold on. Do that. There we go. I'm trying to look around my camera to make sure that I get this right. And then you just paint on your background color. Now this background color, more than likely you're going to have to do like 2 coats of it, maybe 3, to get it completely opaque. But you can put on as many as you need to. And then just flip it over. Whoop. Oh, hold on. Okay, there we go. And that is what it will look like. Oh, how beautiful. And it'll only get better when I get my second coat on here. But that is beautiful. I love that. My goodness. And then just shift it around in the light, because I don't know if you can see. At the top here, you can see my table through the glass. So I have to get more polish up there. But other than that, it looks good. So you can see right there. I need to put a little more there. But that's it. When you get your background color the way you need it to be, like completely opaque, like I said, it'll take 2, maybe 3 coats to make the background color completely opaque, unless you have a really awesome polish that does it in 1. Most don't. Most are opaque in 2 coats. Then you just seal it with top coat. I do 2 or 3 layers of this top coat over the background color. So the last thing on is your top coat. And I put like 2 or 3 just to be absolutely sure that it's sealed in. Because this is nail polish, it's not glue. You know, it is vulnerable. Especially if someone that you give it to has it laying on their table, and they spill, you know, acetone or nail polish remover, and it gets on it. Then yeah, they have to be careful to clean up the acetone, but not take off the nail polish. If you wanted to, you could probably, even after this is completely dry, you could probably seal it with like Mod Podge just to make sure nothing's going anywhere. But like I said, I've never had a problem with it. And it takes a heck of a lot of nail polish remover to get this off once you get all the layers on. And that's why I add more than 1 layer of top coat, because the acetone has to eat through all the layers of top coat first before it reaches your actual design. So that's why I put more than 1 coat of this on, just to give it some extra security. But that's all I'm going to do, is I'm going to finish up the 2 or 3 layers of this, 2 or 3 layers of top coat. And then I will let it dry overnight before putting the bail on. And I won't show you that because it's pretty self-explanatory. But this is the bail. And you see how the bail is, you know, this is flush and then it comes around. So where this, oh my gosh, this flush part is your back part. So you want your gem to sit here where this raised part is. And with your gem, if I can get it, you just want to line it up so that this is where your chain goes. You just want to line it up so that it's like that, so that your chain can go through it, but your design is the right way up for someone to wear it. You just apply some E6000 glue to this side, you put it in there, you have several minutes. You have probably, I'd say probably 5 minutes maybe to move it around to get it exactly where you want it until, you know, before it dries too much that you can't move it anymore. So you do have a pretty good amount of time to move this around and get it where you need it to be. So you just apply E6000 to here, put it on the back, let it dry and cure for 2 to 3 days. So just sit it somewhere where no one's going to mess with it and it's not going to get bumped around. Let it sit for 2 to 3 days for it to fully cure. And then get whatever you're going to use. I have this chain here. I like using chain. You can use yarn, ribbon, whatever you want, jute cord, whatever you want to use for a chain. And then package it to go and give it as a gift or whatever you want, and then you're done. So I really hope you enjoyed, and I will show you this when it's completely done. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. I let this dry overnight just so I could handle it easier without it, you know, smudging, and I do highly recommend that you let it dry overnight. That way it gets nice and hard, and the stickiness of the top coat will fade away. I'm not sure how that works. If you let it dry for just a couple hours, it's actually still really sticky, but if you let it dry overnight, it's not sticky anymore, so it's really kind of weird. But here is the end product. I really like it. It's really pretty. It's prettier than I thought it was going to be. When my brother said pink and black, I wasn't sure how that was going to work. But I do like it. I really do. Now you could totally invert this. You could do a black letter with pink, with a pink background, and you could still use the glitter. That would still be fine. But I like this, and I really hope she likes it too. So I just got to put the bail on the back and put a chain on it. So if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. More videos to come. 12 days. We're not even halfway there. So subscribe so you don't miss any of them. I have some really awesome crafts coming up, like big, well, not big, but more time-consuming crafts that, you know, will challenge you for sure. I'm sure. So remember to subscribe so you get those videos, and I will see you in the next video.